Super Mario games are weird. Always have been, always will be. And with the release of Super Mario Bros. Wonder around the corner, they're about to get a lot weirder. This newest installment of everyone's favorite mushroom-eating plumber finally shows what happens when those mushrooms start to kick in. Elephant Mario, pipes crawling like caterpillars. Whatever is happening here, clearly Wonder is pulling out all the stops to be crowned the weirdest Mario game. But what weird Mario game will Wonder be dethroning? There's plenty of competition. The one with all the possession in it? Maybe the one in outer space? Or how about the one with all the cat stuff? All of these games pale in comparison to the truly weirdest Super Mario Sunshine. Hey everybody, I'm Binkle Monkey, and from development to the game itself, Super Mario Sunshine has to be the craziest Mario game ever made. But how exactly does Sunshine outshine all of its competition in the weirdness department? Well, here are 8 reasons why Super Mario Sunshine is so weird. Number 1, it wasn't a GameCube launch title. Since the very beginning, Mario has always led the charge out the gate for every new Nintendo console. The NES? Mario. The Super Nintendo? Mario. The 64? Mario. The GameCube? Luigi? Given I've never played Luigi's Mansion, I can only say I've heard it's a good time. But it is not a Mario game. There's a severe lack of jumping, just a lot of sucking. It was almost another year before Mario made his way onto the purple lunchbox. So what took so long? Well, the story starts way before the GameCube. Sunshine actually started out as a direct sequel to Super Mario 64. This sequel, known as Super Mario 64 2 at one point, and as Super Mario 128 at another, was going to be released on the add-on for the Nintendo 64, the 64DD. But it sold so poorly in Japan, it was discontinued a little over a year after launch, and never even entered the Western market. The game shifted to being a GameCube title after that, but by the time it would release, it would have been 6 years since Super Mario 64. So now this sequel desperately needed its own identity separate from its famous older brother. So how are Shigeru Miyamoto and Takashi Tezuka, the Mario Dream Team, going to make this new game distinct from the rest? So about that. Number 2, a new director. Sunshine is the first mainline Mario game that didn't have Miyamoto or Tezuka in the director's chair. This time, that seat was reserved for Yoshiaki Koizumi in his directorial debut. But fear not, dear gamers. This Koizumi character wasn't just some rando they pulled off the street. Koizumi had been at Nintendo for 10 years at this point, working in various roles on legendary games like The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time, Yoshi's Island, and even Super Mario 64. Miyamoto and Tezuka would still keep a watchful eye on the project as producers, but Koizumi was in charge of this one, and he was ready to show the world his own weird take on Mario. A take I have to assume came to him while he was cleaning his driveway. Number 3, water? Mario up to this point in his career hasn't been much of a water guy. He shoots fireballs, throws hammers, flies through the air, and, on occasion, dresses like a furry. But when water gets added to the mix, it's usually one of the more frustrating levels. And that's in both 2D and 3D. I don't think I've ever been excited about a Mario water level, except for maybe Jolly Roger Bay. But that's specifically for the music. Damn, that song slaps. Anyway, it was pretty surprising to find out that the theme of the new Mario game was water. But even more surprising was him getting strapped into a Super Soaker backpack.
I am Flood, a flash liquidizer ultra-dousing device. I hope to be of assistance. Proceeding with user instruction.
But Mario and Flood get into all sorts of seaside shenanigans. Cleaning pollution, putting out fires, killing shit, overwatering plants, performing dentistry on a giant eel? Nintendo found so many weird ways to use water. And for the most part, the third-person shooter Mario aspect of the game is a good time, once you get used to it at least. I highly recommend the Super Mario 3D All-Stars version of the game, solely because you can invert Flood's controls, and that is a lifesaver. And, fortunately, this water-filled adventure has the best swimming mechanics of any Mario game up to this point. Honestly, all the gameplay feels really good in this one. They did take away the long jump though, but then they gave Mario a friggin' jetpack instead. It's kinda hard to get mad about that. But why is he doing all these weird-ass things? Well, here's probably the biggest weird. Number 4, the plot. Spoiler warning for a 20-plus-year-old video game. After the failed vacation that was their trip to Dinosaur Land in Super Mario World, Mario and Princess Peach decide to ditch Luigi and go on a vacation in Isle Delfino, a dolphin-shaped tropical paradise. But planning ahead, they brought Peach's steward Toadsworth and an entourage of toads to keep the princess safe.
You serious?
With this added security detail, Mario has his mind on other things, like all the seafood he's going to be shoveling down his cannoli hole. But as the plane is landing, they discover the runway is covered in goop? Toxic waste? Alolan muck love stains? Some sort of nasty stuff. But Mario finds Flood and removes all that tough stuck-on grime from the tarmac. But then, the cops show up and throw Mario in jail? This is the kind of treatment Yoshi deserves for, all the tax fraud. But Mario? Anyway, we find out at the trial that the entire island has been covered in that nasty paint-like goo, which has caused the island guardians, the Shine Sprites, to vanish, plunging the island into darkness. But the culprit has been identified, and the police sketch looks suspiciously like Mario. The judge finds Mario guilty and orders him to clean the entire island as punishment. So the entire game is Mario doing community service for a crime he didn't commit? Are you sure this is what the Mario franchise needs, Koizumi?
Stop questioning my methods, okay? I was chosen for this task for a very good reason.
Okay then. After visiting a few island locales and restoring some Shine Sprites, Shadow Mario returns and kidnaps the princess. Worthless! Absolutely worthless! So Mario chases himself to the amusement park island, Pina Park. And if the spiky turtle-shelled speedboat wasn't a dead giveaway, the Mecha Bowser robot terrorizing the amusement park might give you a clue that Shadow Mario might actually be working for Bowser. After defeating the robot, Shadow Mario reveals his actual identity,
Bowser Jr.,
who informs us that Princess Peach is his mama? And Peach just seems to believe it?
I'm your mama?
There are no thoughts behind those eyes. That implies way too much. Does that mean that she... Are you really sure this is what the Mario franchise needs, Koizumi?
Did I stutter?
Okay, you're the boss. This is where Bowser Jr. explains his master plan. Using his magic paintbrush that makes all of his wishes come true.
What?
Bowser Jr. planned to frame Mario for all the mischief he was getting into while disguised as Shadow Mario. With Mario arrested, Bowser Jr. could finally save his mama from the evil clutches of that sinister plumber. Pretty smart plan for a 5-year-old would be my guess. Born in 2010, so that makes him... -8? I told you this game is weird. It's got unborn babies doing crimes. But when the judge didn't throw the book at Mario, giving him a whole video game of community service instead, Junior had to switch to plan B, kidnap the princess by force. And he does just that, straight into a volcano. After a lot more community service, Mario finally goes into the volcano. And at the top, we find Bowser Jr., Princess Peach, and a friggin' massive version of Bowser just chilling in a jacuzzi. Well, the Bowsers aren't thrilled to see Mario, and a fight breaks out. The jacuzzi is destroyed and everybody plummets to the ground, releasing one last Shine Sprite, which brings back the sunshine and happiness to Isle Delfino. But not for Mario, as that fall from the volcano killed his new bestie Flood. Oh wait, the Toads fixed him 2 minutes later. Somehow. Never mind, everybody. No need for a status quo change in emotional moment in a Mario game. It's fine. And the story finally ends with Bowser telling Bowser Jr. that Princess Peach isn't really his mother, and Bowser Jr. vowing revenge against Mario. That is a lot of plot for a Mario game. And to tell us that weird-ass story, Sunshine explores some untreaded water for the series. Number 5.
It's a me, Mario.
After dipping their toes into voice acting with Mario 64, you know, that game known for nuanced, genre-defining dialogue like,
Spaghetti. Ravioli.
Nintendo finally cannonballed all the way into the voice acting pool. And the voice acting in this game is pretty okay. but it's weird that it exists at all. I mean, this remains the one Mario game with anywhere near this much spoken dialogue, unless those flowers in the Wonder trailer really never shut up.
Onward and upward.
There's a lot of dialogue in this game. I can't get over how they made a full minute-and-a-half long cutscene for the trial that acts as an exposition dump from this lawyer who looks a lot less like a lawyer and a lot more like a 50s greaser.
Hey, this dude's guilty over here.
And that's followed by another minute of Flood's monotone robot voice summarizing everything we just learned in the trial. Like, we get it, game. Collect the shine sprites. We're on it. But for the most part, everyone's voice pretty much matches the sound bites we get in more recent Mario games still to this day. Except Bowser.
Junior, I've got something difficult to tell you about.
Now, there's nothing wrong with Scott Burns' interpretation of the Turtley Menace. It's just the only version of Bowser to sound quite like this. Well, until the movie.
Not sure if you know who I am, but I'm about to rule the world.
Personally, I'm glad they went back to the full growly roar for Bowser in Galaxy. Mario, however, he's still Mario in this one. Ah, yeah. That's the good shit. Number 6. Rushed development. Now, wait a second. Back in reason number 1, I said they'd been working on this game for the better part of 6 years. Yes, but definitely no. There was development on a new Mario game for almost 6 years, but that game only resembled Sunshine for the last 18 months. And that's a really short development cycle for a Mario game. You see, right around the GameCube's launch, this little tiny itty-bitty competitor in the console market popped up out of nowhere on Nintendo. The PlayStation 2. This unstoppable beast of a console was crushing the GameCube and everyone else in sales. And Nintendo pulled what might be considered a desperation move and pushed Sunshine, their surefire console seller, onto shelves before the team had finished with it. And normally when you hear stories like that, you expect the game to be a buggy nightmare mess. But that just isn't the case with Sunshine. The game's presentation is top-notch, the controls are solid, and it has the best camera in the series up to this point. Nah, this game was super well received and was met with nothing but critical acclaim. But it feels a little,
right?
like you've only got 7 stages to explore. Bianco Hills, a cute little lake village in the mountains, Rico Harbor, the island's harbor, Gelato Beach, a beach, Peanut Park, the amusement park island, Noki Bay, a cliffside waterfall land, Serena Beach, a haunted luxury resort hotel, and Pianta Village, the jungle home of the Pianta Island natives. There's also the homeworld of Delfino Plaza, which I think counts as a level, as there are plenty of missions, challenges, and secrets there as well. But still, it just feels small compared to Mario 64, which had 15 very distinct stages. Are the stages in Sunshine bigger? Probably. They certainly are prettier, but some of them like Gelato Beach and Pianta Village feel kind of empty to me. And knowing that emptiness is because so many areas and game mechanic ideas had to be cut to make the deadline is a real bummer. Number 7. This game is hard. What this game lacks in content, it sure as hell makes up for in difficulty. Sunshine is structured a lot like Mario 64. Go into a stage, accomplish a goal, get your trinket, get flung out. Rinse and repeat. But to beat this game, you have to complete episodes 1 through 7 on all 7 of the stages. It doesn't actually matter how many extra shine sprites you get as long as you have the 49 required ones, plus the one from the opening tutorial episode. Semantics, whatever. It's not too daunting to beat this game, but there are plenty more things to do if you want to complete the game. And as I was streaming my first time playing Sunshine, I knew I had to complete it, and it hurt. The jump from 50 to 120 shine sprites introduces a lot of weird, frustrating challenges. Here's just a few of the episodes that deserve a dishonorable mention. Every stage has at least one secret episode, where you crawl into a little hidden area, Shadow Mario swoops in, steals Flood off your back, and now you're stuck platforming through some of the hardest and weirdest gauntlets Nintendo has come up with yet, without the jetpack that you've become codependent with. The theme of these levels can only be described as a fever dream in a child's playroom, and they're all accompanied by this a cappella rendition of the original Super Mario Bros. Athletic theme. And it might start out as a charming little ditty, but after dying to it for hours, it becomes the horrific screeching of your sleep paralysis demon. And then, after you've beaten it once, you have to come back with Flood and do a timed red coin collection challenge. Both versions of these levels are the biggest test of your platforming skills in the entire game. You've also got your generally bizarre tasks, like blowing up Bowser Jr. balloons on a roller coaster. It's kind of weird and difficult, but nothing you can't figure out after a few tries. Or how about rolling a giant watermelon down to the beach, while everything wants to pop it like a balloon? Eventually, you might just get lucky like I did. Well, so much for that. Let's go. Oh! You saw that, right? I still have no idea how I pulled that off. There's the infamous floating pachinko machine. Yeah, it's difficult, but just why? But one challenge takes Princess Peach's cake for the biggest pain in the ass. This lily pad riding challenge is the most sinister thing in the entire game. Getting there alone is a massive time sink, but once you get there, the challenge itself is just diabolical. The lily pad gets pushed down the river by the current, and you need to collect the 8 red coins. You steer by pushing yourself with Flood's squirt nozzle, but nothing about this is precise or consistent. And if you take too long, the lily pad will deteriorate beneath you and crumble apart. Oh, and the water is toxic, and you die instantly if you touch it. I came into this challenge with 32 lives, and I lost every single one of them. I only barely beat this level on my very last life, and that was using some developer unintended strategies to try multiple times on one life. And I haven't even talked about the 240 blue coins you have to collect to complete this game. This probably wouldn't be so bad if the blue coins were in every episode of every stage, but no, they had to get all episode specific about it. Please, use a guide. Don't even try this without one. You'll just end up using one when you can't find the last 10 or so coins as you angrily backtrack to recheck all the places you're sure you got the blue coins from before. And at the end of the day, getting all 120 shine sprites just isn't worth it. You get a fun tropical shirt, but you've literally done everything already. What you gonna do with that shirt now? There's nowhere left to go, Mario. Number 8. Everything else. Some things in this game are just so weird, they don't fit into a category. The game is ridiculously cruel to squids. Why do I have to rip off the blooper's arms? And who put the cork in its mouth? Why are we like this? And why is this so gross? Yoshi's back as a playable power-up. And on top of their crazy tongue physics, they can puke Yoshi juice. Why didn't this get added to Yoshi's moveset in Smash? How about getting chucked by a chuckster? Didn't see that coming. Especially the entire secret level that's based on this ridiculous and shockingly precise mechanic. We helped hatch the sandbird! Hooray! Let's go see what it looks like and... Why is it Minecraft? Want to go to Noki Bay? Just stare at the sun. And remember how we got arrested because we made all the shine sprites leave? Well, why are like half or more of the sprites Mario saves coming from the inhabitants of the island? The locals stole the shine sprites, not Mario. So, Mario Sunshine is weird, but it's also charming, well-made, and for the most part, a lot of fun. So let's hear it one more time for this wacky-ass game. You might not be the weirdest mainline Mario game for much longer, but at least you'll always be the best Mario game on the GameCube. Oh right, you're the only mainline Mario game on the GameCube. Hey, thanks for watching. What do you think's the weirdest thing about Sunshine? Did I miss anything else? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're at it, if you feel like liking, subscribing, or any other combination of the YouTube stuff, that would be pretty okay too. But, as always, have a good one.